The Earth has been trying to kill us for a very long time. Earthquakes that swallow cities whole, floods that drown entire nations, volcanoes that blot out the sun for an entire year, and somehow, we're still here. Honestly impressive. Give yourself a round of applause. These are not legends. These are not exaggerations. These are real events that actually happened on this planet. And after watching this video, you may never go outside again. Today we're counting down the most terrifying natural disasters ever recorded. Stay until the end, because number 1 is so absurd, so unhinged, that the Earth basically sneezed and half the planet felt it. Number 5. The 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, December 26, 2004. The day after Christmas. Hundreds of thousands of tourists are on beaches across Southeast Asia, absolutely living their best life, sunburned, full of food, probably napping. Then at 7:59 in the morning, the ocean floor off the coast of Sumatra suddenly snaps. A 9.1 magnitude earthquake, one of the most powerful ever recorded, tears open a 900-mile-long fault line along the seafloor. The ocean above it rises. And then it comes. Walls of water traveling at the speed of a commercial airplane slam into the coastlines of 14 countries: Indonesia, Sri Lanka, India, Thailand, Somalia. People who were eating breakfast on the beach had minutes. Some had seconds. By the end of the day, 227,898 people were dead or missing. Bodies were found as far as 350 miles from shore. Entire villages simply ceased to exist. Now here's the part that will mess with your head. Many survivors said the sea retreated first. The water pulled way back, fish flopping on exposed sand, coral just sitting there in the open air. And people actually walked out onto the exposed seafloor to have a look around. They thought it was cool. It was not cool. It meant the wave was coming, and it was borrowing all that water to make it bigger. Nature really said, here's a free preview. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Kidding!
Number 4. Mount Tambora and the Year Without a Summer. Most people have never heard of this one, which is wild because it affected literally every person on Earth. April 10th, 1815. A volcano called Mount Tambora in Indonesia erupts. Not just erupts. It absolutely loses its mind. The explosion was so loud that people 1,200 miles away thought it was cannon fire. Ships sent out search parties looking for a naval battle that didn't exist. Sailors were genuinely out there like, who's shooting? While an entire mountain was destroying itself on the other side of the ocean. The eruption blasted 24 cubic miles of ash and rock into the atmosphere. The mountain lost 4,000 feet of height in one afternoon. It just deleted the top of itself. Very dramatic. 100,000 people died immediately. But here's where it gets truly terrifying. That ash spread across the entire planet and blocked the sun. Not for a day, not for a week. For a year. 1816 was called the Year Without a Summer. June. Snow in New England. July. Frost in Virginia. Europe's crops failed completely. Rivers flooded. Livestock died. People starved across 3 continents. Number 3. The 1556 Shaanxi Earthquake. The deadliest earthquake in all of recorded human history. And the terrifying thing is, it happened before modern cities, before skyscrapers, before anything we associate with earthquake danger today. January 23, 1556. Central China. The middle of the night. Everyone is asleep. In the 16th century, millions of people in this region lived in Yaodong. Cave dwellings carved directly into soft earth and cliffs. Basically, they built their homes inside the hillside. Cozy, practical, 0 stars in retrospect. When the earthquake hit, those cliffs simply collapsed. People weren't crushed by falling buildings. The actual ground they lived inside folded on top of them. 830,000 people died. In one night, in one earthquake. In some counties, 60% of the entire local population was wiped out. Survivors said they couldn't even recognize where their homes had been. The landscape just looked completely different. And the saddest, most ironic part? Scholars at the time wrote that people who slept in open fields survived. The ones who ran into their homes for shelter, those homes were the problem. Number 2. The 1931 China floods. Okay, I need you to prepare yourself for a number that doesn't feel real. In the summer of 1931, three of China's greatest rivers, the Yangtze, the Yellow River, and the Huai River, all flooded at the same time. Not one river, three, simultaneously. The rivers said, you know what, let's do this together. What followed was the most deadly natural disaster in all of recorded human history. The water didn't come and go in a day, it stayed for months. Major city streets were flooded for nearly a year. An area the size of England and half of Scotland was completely underwater. 80 million people were left homeless. And then the starvation hit. And the disease. Cholera tore through refugee camps. Every crop in the region was destroyed. The final death toll? Up to 4 million people. To put that in perspective, the casualties from the 1931 China floods alone are roughly equal to the combined death toll of every natural disaster that happened worldwide between 1974 and 2003. 30 years of global disasters. One flood matched them all, and most people have never heard of it. Number 1. The Valdiva Earthquake, the largest earthquake ever recorded. May 22nd, 1960, 3:11 in the afternoon. Valdiva, Chile. The ground starts shaking, and it does not stop. What the people of southern Chile experienced that day was a magnitude 9.5 earthquake, the most powerful earthquake in all of recorded human history. On the Richter scale, every full point is 10 times more powerful than the one before it. A 9.5 isn't just a bit worse than a 9.0. It is more than 3 times more energetic. The shaking lasted 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Continuous violent earthquake. Just to give you a sense of how insane that is, the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake, which we talked about earlier, the one that killed nearly 230,000 people. That shook for about 8 to 10 minutes too, and it was considered historic. Now imagine that being normal for the Valdiva quake. The ground split open, landslides buried towns, a volcano erupted miles away, the earth basically had a full breakdown, and then the tsunami hit. Waves up to 82 feet tall, taller than an 8-story building, obliterated the Chilean coast. But then the tsunami kept going. It crossed the entire Pacific Ocean. 15 hours later, Hawaii. 22 hours later, Japan. 24 hours later, the Philippines. One earthquake in Chile. Tsunamis in 3 other countries on the same day. 2 million people lost their homes. The earthquake released more energy than all the earthquakes in the world combined over the previous 5 years. All of them combined. And this one earthquake beat that total.